We are not meant to have it all figured out. Most of us have no idea what we're doing. It's been a 9-year in numerology, and that signifies letting go, death. They call it a midlife crisis, but sometimes it's just reinventing yourself, stepping into a new identity, and that's okay. You can be scared, you can feel uncertainty, you can feel like you don't know what's happening, but still be excited for what's coming. Like, those can exist together. Welcome to Let's Just Be Real with me, your host, Marissa Tonge. I'm a multi-passionate creative entrepreneur who's on a journey to create my dream life in a world where adulting just gets too real sometimes. On this podcast, we talk about all things beyond surface level to leave you feeling inspired to think bigger, unapologetically prioritize your self-care, and discover your true, authentic self. Think of me as your unfiltered but wise auntie who just wants the best for all of us. So grab your journal or maybe a glass of wine and let's get real. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I'm your host, Marissa Tonge. Thank you so much for joining me in another episode this week. We have 13 days, 14 days left of the year, and we're inching very closely into 2026, which I am so excited for. If you guys follow me on Threads, I feel like I talk about the anticipation of 2026 every single day and just how exhausted I am of 2025. Like, I think we've just reached the point in the year where everyone is just mentally fatigued, physically fatigued, socially fatigued. Like, it's just, we're ready to go. Okay. And I really feel in my soul, I feel like I've said this a few times already on the podcast or on my Substack, I truly feel like 2026 is going to be a year of unmatched growth, unmatched expansion. I'm so excited. And if you guys don't know, I started a new publication on Substack and it's called Midheaven Mommy, where we're going to be talking about all things astrology, zodiac, birth chart, the archetypes, the stereotypes, all that good stuff. It's fun. It's light. We're not diving deep into like the astrology for the week. I always put a disclaimer that I am not an astrologer. Like, I don't claim to be one. I don't take people, for birth chart readings and all that. I love to read my friends' charts. I love to read people who I just met, like their charts, but it's all fun for me and it's all practice. And who knows, maybe in like 10, 15 years, I might be an astrologer for real, like as a profession. But right now I'm just having fun with it. I'm exploring. I am going based on my experiences, my intuition. So if you're into that, make sure you go subscribe to my new Substack. All right, y'all. So in today's episode, honestly, like, I had no idea what I wanted to talk about. And I feel like that's kind of going to be the topic of like just not knowing and having uncertainty and being in a place where you can just say, I don't know. I don't know. I had a session with my therapist this week and I was talking about just being in this space, kind of like just in this in-between space, in this void where I don't have the answers to a lot of things. I don't have a clear direction of where things are going. And this is probably the first time in my life where I don't have everything planned out. I don't feel super organized. I don't feel very goal oriented. Like, oh my God, yeah, like this is going to happen in this date. And I know that this is about to happen here. And not to say that I'm not always working on things. I'm always working on things. I'm always creating. I'm always making new connections and planning for the future. But I think right now, where I am as of December 17th, I don't fucking know. I don't know. And that's related to where I am right now with my business. That's related to my love life. That's related to some of the professional relationships that I've carried, in the past year or the past couple years, some of the connections that I've made, the identity that I have kind of like moved into, with this big transition, moving to a new city this year. There's been a lot of just new parts of myself that have come online this year. And I think I'm just in like an integration period where I need to sit with myself and I need to get clear on who am I going into 2026? What do I want to put my energy into? And these can be questions for yourself as well. You can make this a journal practice as well, but like, who am I? Who am I becoming? What am I letting go of? Like this year, as we all know, has been a shedding year. It's been a 9 year in numerology, and that signifies letting go, death, releasing, shedding, and the things that we've been holding on to that maybe are just not making us feel good. They're not serving us. They don't make sense. If something just doesn't make sense to you anymore, or you find yourself having all of this resistance, right? You're resisting going to this place. You're resisting having this conversation with someone. You're resisting taking on this role. You're resisting creating something. That most likely means that it's not for you. Let it die. And I think as humans, we get stuck on things. We get stuck on people. We get stuck on situations. We get stuck on ideas, beliefs. And it's wildly uncomfortable for us to sometimes just take the L. Take the L, like cut it off, cut ties, end it, throw it away, start over. That is probably the most scariest thing for us as humans. Like, we cannot fathom big change sometimes because it's uncomfortable. And who likes to be uncomfortable? Especially when you are a Taurus, when you are someone with stubborn fixed signs like myself. Like, I have 3 fixed signs in my big 3. And I'm just someone that I love stability. I love knowing what's next. I love having control over my life. And I would say probably for the first time in my 34 years, I feel like I don't have control over a lot of things. And it's scary. But at the same time, if I switch my perspective, right, if I switch my mindset, it can also be really exciting. Like, I'm really excited for 2026. And you can be scared. You can feel uncertainty. You can feel like you don't know what's happening, but still be excited for what's coming. Like, those can exist together. Those feelings can exist. So if you're in that space right now, which I feel like a lot of people are, I'm always on threads, and I feel like so many people have been resonating with some of my threads that I've been putting out. If you're in that space, I just want to give you that comfort in knowing that you can be excited for your future and still not know how to get there, still not know what you need to do right now. And sometimes the only thing that you can do is take care of yourself. The only thing that you can do is be radically honest with yourself. Being honest with other people, being transparent with other people, sharing exactly where you are with other people. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a place in my life, in my business, where I have to be clear about how things are really going, how I am able to show up, my capacity at this time. And it's a difficult conversation that I need to have, not only with my team, but also with my community. And it sucks. It definitely sucks. But if you're not able to be honest with people, right? Or at least first, if you're not able to be honest with yourself, then how do you expect things to happen for you? You can't build a future on lies. You can't build a future on being avoidant. And I think so many of us have become avoidant by default because, again, it's uncomfortable to share your true feelings. It's uncomfortable to share where you're really at. It's uncomfortable to be vulnerable. It's uncomfortable to let people down, or feel like you're letting people down. I've been talking a lot about, releasing an old identity and allowing people to see you in a different light, or see you and perceive you in this way that maybe might not necessarily be true. I've been talking about that in my confidence course that recently launched this month. And I think as you step into a new identity, you have to be okay with people seeing you in a different light. You have to be okay with people judging you. You have to be okay with people not understanding you. People are not meant to understand you. Everybody's here to try to understand themselves. That's already a difficult enough task, right? Like, truly understanding where you're at, your mindset, what you want, who you are. Like, that is a lifelong commitment. So expecting other people to figure you out is not your business. It's not your business. It's not your concern. And with all that people have to deal with, in 2025, especially if you live in America, I just finished recording a podcast with my girl Aspen. We were talking about, traveling and potentially moving outside of the country in the next couple of years. And with all that is going on in this country, all you can do is your best. All you can do is focus on yourself. And that's what I keep telling myself every single day. Like when I'm feeling stuck or stagnant or like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? I affirm I can only do my best. I can only show up as my best self today. And every day that might look different. My best might look different every single day. Yesterday, my best might have been just getting out of bed, working out, going for a walk, going to work. Today, my best might be recording 2 podcast episodes, making dinner, going to the grocery store, and going to bed. Your best is always going to look different. So release the expectations, release the pressure. That's really what the message here in this episode is. Release the pressure. Give yourself a freaking break. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself grace. We are not meant to have it all figured out. We don't. We're not. We're not. And I had put on threads like this week, I feel like the majority of people have no idea what they're doing. Most of us have no idea what we're doing, right? Like, even if you might have the best education in the world, you might have the best career, the best income, that doesn't mean that you really know what you're doing. There's so many people who pivot in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. They call it a midlife crisis, but sometimes it's just reinventing yourself, stepping into a new identity. And that's okay. It's okay to not know what's next. It's okay to not have it all figured out today. We're not meant to. So what I've been relying on lately is just being present, finding joy. Joy has been a really big word for me this month specifically, this year in general, but I think specifically like in December, seeking joy. I even started for my business, Real Rhythm Dance and Fitness. We're doing 25 days of joy, where every single day we take on a new challenge, or, we're putting a different promotion out there, or some way that people can stay engaged with us, with themselves, with their body, to bring joy. Because that's really what it's all about. That's what it's about, guys. It's about finding some type of joy. It's about finding little pockets, little moments throughout your day where you can be like, oh, I actually like where I live. I actually like my life. I actually like myself. I actually like what I'm doing. I actually love myself. I actually enjoy my creativity and my gifts. I can escape through writing. I can escape through going on a walk in nature. That's fun for me, right? Like finding joy in escapism, right? Escapism doesn't always have to be like drinking, smoking weed, watching Netflix, binge watching shows. Like sometimes you can escape through the things that are actually going to bring you joy and might spark creativity. Because at the end of the day, us as humans, we're here to create. We're here to expand. We're here to build a better future for everyone, not just ourselves. I think that's part of the human experience. It's creating a better world in general. When we think about how the world was like 500 years ago, I don't think any of us would have wanted to live in that world. Like we are very, very, very fortunate, very lucky, very privileged. So as we continue to progress on Earth, which is very ghetto oftentimes, we still have to appreciate that like we have come so far. We get to enjoy having a freaking camera. We get to enjoy technology. We get to enjoy this microphone. We get to enjoy a podcast, the ability for you to listen to my voice anywhere in the world, on an airplane, putting your phone in airplane mode and being able to listen to whatever you want. That's a privilege. That's a gift. So that's our purpose. Like that's what we should be focusing on. How can I create a better future for myself, for my children, if you have children, for people coming after me, for the future generations? How can I make their life easier? How can I add more joy to their lives as well? Because let's be real, people who are happy are not causing pain and inflicting trauma in other people's lives. People like Donald Trump, he is not a happy man. Despite what anyone might think, like, yeah, he has money, he has privilege, he has power, but that man is not happy. Happy people do not try to make other people's lives miserable. You don't have time for that shit. Are you ready to dance, sweat, and level up your confidence all from the comfort of your own home? Well, guess what, baddie? Our online dance and fitness classes are officially live. This means no matter where you are in the world, you can tap into our signature energy, real vibes only. As a member, you get 24/7 access to dance tutorials, full body workouts, stretch sessions, and our growing library of most requested combos. We have over 100 plus videos on demand, so you can do them whenever you want. Oh, and it gets better. Every membership includes a full Rhythm and Pumps Heels Fundamentals course with 10 powerful modules designed to help you feel 10 times more confident dancing in heels or without. So if you're ready to build your skill, your strength, your self-love, your confidence, get into our on-demand programs and memberships. We have 2 memberships available, and you can choose them based on your budget or based on your current goals. You can join Rhythm and Pumps, which starts at only $19.99 a month. This is for the girl who's trying to get into her heels bag, okay? 24/7 access to all of our heels combos, all of our training modules, and choreo sessions. Again, that Fundamentals 101 course is going to be key to starting your heels journey, girl. You also get access to our community group online, so you can hype each other up. You can get notified when we drop new tutorials and all that good stuff. Plus, you're going to get flexibility in core training. Our second membership is our Real Rhythm Unlimited membership. Now, this is our most popular, okay? It is premium and it's only $10 more than Rhythm and Pumps. You get all access training, so workouts on demand with or without weights. You get access to various dance classes and choreo tutorials, including hip hop, heels, and commercial pop, guided meditations with myself, affirmations, all that mindset work that you need to feel your best from the inside to the out. And you also get access to our online community and exclusive live streams every single month. So if this sounds like something you're trying to get into, I invite you to check out our online memberships by heading over to www.realrhythmdanceandfitness.com and check out the special promo code in the show notes for Let's Just Be Real podcast listeners only. You're welcome, and I'll see you online. So something that we can do this week, right? We have a new moon in Sagittarius. This is the last new moon of the year. New moons are a great time to set intentions, new beginnings. We have the winter solstice this weekend as well. Brand new season, brand new era going into 2026. If anything, use this as your new year. Don't wait until December 31st. Like, we're done with the rat race. We're done following the crowd. We're done, following the calendar that this society and man has created for us to think like, oh, everything needs to reset on January 1st. No, you can reset with the cycles of nature. It's a new moon. Set your intentions. Get clear on what you want. Get clear on what you were letting go of, what no longer serves you, what's not even making sense to you anymore, who doesn't need to be in your circle, who you don't want to work with anymore. Like, these are all things that we can get really clear on this week. And that's where I'm at. I'm getting super fucking clear this week. Like, and again, like, it's not a matter of like putting so much pressure on myself and trying to do and take action. Like, actually, winter, right? Going into the winter solstice is a time of darkness. It's a time where we might be a little tired. We might be a little fatigued. We might not have the energy to do. So don't overwork yourself. Like, take a chill pill, go to bed, rest, relax, or go move your body. Do what you feel called to do, not what you feel pressured to do. And that's where I'm at. I'm just reminding myself that like pressure doesn't necessarily breed positive results. And I think I've operated in that space for the past decade, to be honest with you. Like pressure, like putting so much pressure on myself, needing to show up quickly, needing to show up in this way, needing to show up efficiently, needing to show up perfect. I've done that for 10 years and it's gotten me to the point of like, this isn't working. So take inventory this week, okay? Take inventory, sit down, get clear, get honest, be raw, Be raw, be real. Don't lie to yourself. Lying to yourself gets you nowhere. So let's get clear. Let's get honest. I want to interrupt by inviting you to a very special event happening in 2026. I'm so excited to announce the Soul and Senses retreat in Bali, Indonesia. If you've been craving a reset, the kind that nourishes your body, calms your mind, and reconnects you to your purpose, then let me personally invite you to my retreat, Soul and Senses in Bali, happening April 7th to the 13th in 2026. We'll spend 6 nights in 2 luxury hotels in Seminyak, which is a beautiful, lively beach city. And then we'll spend 3 nights in Ubud, which is the jungle. It's spiritual, it's sacred, it's the place where you can really connect with your soul. We'll be surrounded by palm trees, soul-aligned women, and the most beautiful energy that you've ever felt. You'll experience dance, somatic movement, deep stretching on a daily basis, healing and grounding practices, jungle excursions and private cultural tours, meditations, journaling workshops, and spiritual connection. There are plenty of nights where you can have fun and plenty of nights to also unplug. If you're feeling like, low key and you don't feel like going out, that's okay too. Our retreats are meant to help you follow your intuition and really give your body what it's craving at the time. It's safe, it's sacred, and it's exactly what you didn't know you needed. Spots are limited for this retreat and it's going to sell out. So if you're ready to reconnect with yourself in paradise, definitely make sure you go to our website. It's linked in the show notes. Or you can send me a DM saying Bali on Instagram and I'll send you the link to register. This is not just a vacation, it's a soul shifting experience. So if you're ready to step into the next version of yourself and connect with yourself on a deeper level while being in one of the most beautiful places on earth, then I invite you to book today and I'll see you there. I hope that this was helpful. I had no idea what I wanted to talk about today, but based on where I'm at right now, I think that a lot of people probably need to hear this and a lot of people can probably relate. And I think as someone who shows up as a leader or, someone who has a role of influencing and encouraging and inspiring people, like I know that it's important for people to see me sometimes show up in a way that doesn't always feel super, super positive or super, super happy. Like I'm a human and I have a lot of emotions that like y'all would probably never see. Like at the end of the day, I am very much a water sign. I am very much a Scorpio and I have quite a few Scorpio placements in my chart. And I'm a very emotional person. And I have no problem with sitting in those emotions. I'm not someone that likes to hide how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling some type of way, either I'm going to address it through journaling, I'm going to address it through therapy, I'm going to address it through having a conversation with someone, but I've never been avoidant. And I think it's funny because I used to be anxious attached, which is something that I've worked through. I think this year finally allowed me to see, okay, like these last little habits of being anxious attached, like they gotta go. And there's some people that have come into my life that have been avoidant. And I feel like God has tested me in that way of seeing like how I was gonna navigate that. And I feel like I've passed the test. So, we'll see. I'll let you know in 2026 if I ends up coming across any more avoidant people. But that's one thing I can say about myself. Like I've never been avoidant. I think I've been reserved. I've been a bit secretive. Naturally, I like to keep things to myself, but avoidant is nah. We gonna talk about it. We gonna address it. You're gonna know exactly how I feel. And I just feel like going forward, I want to share more of that rawness, that realness, and having this podcast, let's just be real, having my Substack, having, this platform where I can talk and I can, my YouTube channel, I've been getting more real on there as well. I've been going live. That's a goal for me in 2026 to continue just being consistent going live. So you guys will probably see more of those videos. I put out a live last week. We were talking about modern dating tips for feminine women. So you can go check that out. But yeah, you guys are going to just see more of who I truly am. And I feel like not that I've been hiding who I am. I feel like I've been showing up in a way where it's maybe digestible to people, right? Like, for instance, I've been loving and into astrology for so many years since I was literally like 10 years old. But because of my upbringing, growing up in a religious Christian household, that was shamed. It was looked down upon. It's like, oh my God, astrology is so demonic. Like, you're going to die because you're into your zodiac sign. And it took me years. Like, I'm 34, and it took me until this point to finally be in this place where I can talk about it on my podcast. I can start a blog. I can write freely. I can talk freely about it. And I think being on threads as well and me putting out my thoughts, about the signs and the zodiacs and all that, and people like engaging with it and laughing and agreeing and all of that. Not to say that like my work needs to be validated, but I think it's just proof that this is something that people are interested in. It's something that people resonate with. It's something that people are seeing more value in. And I think as we go into 2026, there's going to be a heavier placement on spirituality, and not just spirituality in this very performative, structured, you have to be in church, to be spiritual, and you have to be in this particular physical place in order to build a relationship with God and with your own spirituality, your higher self. Like, I think it's changing. The dynamics of spirituality and faith are changing. And I feel that I'm someone who is going to be, part of that wave of, I don't like to call myself a healer, but I kind of guess I am in different ways. Definitely like through movement. I help heal people, or I help them to find healing through movement. But, there's going to be this big wave of healers. People are going to be seeking out astrology. People are going to be seeking out human design. People are going to be seeking out things like gene keys, all of these things that are now coming beyond the surface, Kabbalah. Like, it's amazing. And I am so excited for our evolution, like I talked about, and just seeing how we grow as humanity, as a society, as humans. And we have a huge responsibility. So I just want to, not to put pressure on you, okay, but we do have a huge responsibility to share our knowledge, to share our truth, to speak our truth. So again, I hope this episode helped you in some way. I hope it spoke to you. If you felt like, oh my God, like this is so heavy, well, go listen to something lighter, because I don't know what to tell you. All right. Let's just be real. I'm going through shit. People are going through shit. This year has been absolute craziness. Okay. And yeah, that's just where I'm at. So, another announcement, the podcast is going to be dropping on Thursdays going forward. I am shifting some things as far as like my systems and how I show up, and I just want to like do some feng shui with, my work. So I'm going to be putting out the podcast on Thursdays based on just how I'm feeling as far as like my schedule, the time that I have, the freedom that I have. I really like recording on Wednesdays. Wednesday is Mercury Day, so I feel a little bit more open to like having conversations and putting myself on camera. It's also just a day where I have a little bit more availability and free time to sit down and create. So podcasts will be coming out on Thursdays going forward. If you're catching this on a Thursday, just know next Thursday podcast will be out as well. I think we are just going to push through the rest of the month. I usually take a break around the holidays, but I think we're just going to continue episodes going into the new year. So if you guys love this episode, make sure you drop a comment on YouTube, subscribe, okay? Some of y'all just be watching videos and not subscribing. So please subscribe. You can like this video, you can drop a comment, you can share this with your friend. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, you can leave us a rating and review. That would really help me out. Like I said, 2026, I'm really focused on expansion and growth. That's another reason I want to move the podcast to Thursday. So if you're into astrology and all that, Thursday is Jupiter day, and Jupiter represents expansion. So I want to continue to expand this podcast and grow it in different ways and reach more people. So you can really help me do that by rating and reviewing the podcast. If you're on Apple, you can write some nice words, how the podcast has been helping you out, making you feel. And if you listen on Spotify, you can just leave us 5 stars. That would be so helpful. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, connect with me, Wristfit Kitty, Let's Just Be Real Pod. And as a reminder, we are booking our 2026 retreats. We have Bali coming up April 7th to the 13th, and the registration will be extended until February 15th. So that'll be the last day to book and pay in full. If you guys want to do payment plans, you could definitely do that now up until February 15th. So drop your deposit. We out to Bali. Next year is going to be freaking amazing. You're definitely going to need that trip. And then we have San Diego coming up in July, I believe the 24th to the 27th or the 24th to the 28th. I'll link everything in the show notes for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you in another episode. Bye.